Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the AM Silver Bullet for Wednesday, May 1st. So the first thing we do when you come to the 10 o'clock hour is we turn on Kraken Silver Bullet Pro and we see that there are New York kill zones right here. We already took out London High right in here. Well, we had news. There's a bunch of news this day. So there was a news at 8:15. This was early. And then we had, this is a 5-minute breaker block. Let me show you on the 5-minute. 5-minute down close candle, 5-minute breaker right here. So I'm going to show you that. So on here, 5-minute breaker block. See how the body's respecting that really well. This is before 10 a.m. So you could have entered anywhere here, and it was high would have been above this, and it was holding really well, right? So there's your 5-minute breaker. You have the New York kill zone down here, and you also have you have liquidity down here. This is just showing you where it's all at here. Okay, so let's continue going down here and see what happens on this 10 o'clock hour. Oh, sorry, news. Forgot. We also had 9:45 news and we had 10 o'clock news. So when I have news, like 3 things of news, I wait till after the last one to actually trade. Well, this is good just 10 o'clock, but sometimes I trade before 10 o'clock. I like trading about 9:30, coming to the desk and seeing what's available. So I would have ideally liked to have been on this trade. However, with news right there, I've not taken this trade. So what I mean would have worked out. Looks like it would have worked out pretty nice. A little choppy, quite a bit choppy actually, and so you'd have been like fearful on this trade, but it would have worked out if you held it. But I wouldn't with 2 different news events. So let's see what happens here. All right, let's look at something for a second. Let's see. When I went to 5-minute, I'm trying to remember how I traded this. Oh yeah, 5-minute. So we have 5-minute breaker block right here. And so I wanted to see how this was trading into. If this was going to trade in this and blow right past it or not. That's kind of what I wanted to see here. I'm just remembering how I did this, how I traded this. So I want to see how it's reacting to this right here. So it is respecting that. It did we just come into the New York kill zone, took it out, and we're respecting that. So let's see how. Okay, you actually have SMT right here, and it's respecting this breaker block. So I'm going to take a long position here. I'll buy one here. I'm going to move my stop loss here for 400. Up here for an even 1,000. 2.5 hour trade. Let's see how this works here. I'm not taking it because there's SMT. I'm taking it because there's a 5-minute breaker and it's respecting it. The body's respecting the constant encroachment of it or the mean threshold of it. And so it's like it doesn't want to go any lower. We have SMT with ES. I think we're going to go higher and go from breaker to breaker and go back up to breaker. Let's see how that works. So, oof. All right, I like that. But that wick came right down, almost filled that breaker. If it would have closed down here, I would have exited the trade immediately. So I lucked out there. Oof, I don't like that wick either. See, I wicked right just to the top of that breaker block. Probably enough to tag you in if you put your order right there. Probably would have tagged you in. I don't know if it would have for sure, but it's close enough. If we close above this high, I'm going to move my stop to break even. Just want to close above that, get out from underneath this. Ranging here, I'd like to go higher here. All right, now we can move our stop to, we'll go up to this low here. Ooh, coming down to take me out. That's what it's doing. Maybe not. All right, at that point, we're going to move our stop up a little bit. I know a lot of people don't. They just leave it there. I kind of, depending on how I'm feeling on price action. Okay, well, that's good. Let's move this over here like this. All right. Continue higher. Let's see how it reacts to this breaker block here. See if the body is support or respect that. Ooh, going higher. I'm liking all this failed. The bodies are so close, and these two came immediately through it and down. I would consider taking a short here if I didn't already take one. Like, let's mark it up here where you could take a short. Like, if you wanted to take one here, your stop would be just above this breaker, with just above that high. I wouldn't like that. If I was going to take one, I'd want to take one here, like when we close outside below the breaker. See, like this, if I zoom in, that's just below the breaker. I'd want to, the next candle open and do it. So I'm not taking this trade. I'm just showing you that if you did, that's how I would want to if I was going to, if I was thinking this was where it's going to reverse. Let's see if we pull a fib from high to low here. Let's see here. From the high down to this low here. We're at optimal trade entry here, and we're just below it. So I'd probably want to see a few more candles to see how it was reacting before taking my trade. So let's just set this off to the side and let's see how this plays out here. I like that. See how it comes here. Okay, I like that. If I get any kind of pullback, okay, we'll take a trade here. We'll take this one like this. Right? Stop would have to be above this, or I think we're going to respect it. We're out of optimal trade entry and down. So let's just see how this plays out here. I'm not taking it on this. You know what? I'll take it. Let's go out. Let's just manage it just like we would. All right. Just like this. Let's go down here. All right. Let's see. I'm in. Oh, we're really far in. All right. We're definitely going in profit here. I don't know this trade very well, so let's see. There's 2 fair value gaps there. There's 3 fair value gaps there. All right, so let's move this stop to the 3 PDA rule. There's 1 fair value gap. There's 2. There's 3. So, did it take us out? Now it did. Okay, so close. All right, well, there you go. There's a second trade. It's outside the hours of that, but we had this breaker was holding price. And then it closed through, and we're in optimal trade entries. We want to see a little bit more action, and then we got it. So, all right, let's recap here. Let's just tanks. Okay. All right, recap. So we came to the 10 o'clock hour. There was a lot of news. There was news at 8:15. There was news at 9:45 and at 10. So we wait till at least 10 o'clock. Let it settle out before we enter. And before then, we saw that a 5-minute breaker block was formed on the 5-minute and was supporting price. Look at the bodies supporting price, and it came down and traded down into another 5-minute breaker block. right? So we went from, breaker here up. So then we created a 5-minute breaker down. We traded down into this breaker block. We saw SMT with ES, and we took our trade, and we went 50 points up, right? We should have taken it to the whole breaker, but we didn't. We only did for 50 points. Straight 2.5-hour trade. And then we saw that, we moved this breaker longer, this 5-minute breaker, and it just kept continuing to hold price. Didn't want to keep going up. So we saw a reaction down, and we saw that was also optimal trade entry. So we saw some reaction down, and then we took our trade, entered again, short stop loss, was 20 handles, 20 points, and went for another 50 points. So we got 100 points in, a little under an hour. Let me show you something else here. Why did we think this was also starting to turn? I forgot to mention this. Okay. Well, what do you see this? Is this high and this low? Are those going down? So that is regular bearish divergence. And this is going up from here. These bodies are going up. So here's regular bearish divergence, right? I'm not sure you have SMT right here. You don't have SMT on ES or NQ. YM, I don't think you have SMT either. And the dollar is going down. So only you have is this divergence, which you need the Kraken correlation to see. Let's look at the volume profile candles. Yep, see this comes back into trades into that, and then down. That's good. A lot of volume going to candles going in there. There's your AM silver bullet for Wednesday, May 1st, using the Kraken suite of indicators.